Hello everyone. Today I'll continue my series on cool things you could do with the R programming language. First, I just want to give a recap of what we did in the first video. Basically, we learned how to take data in a CSV file. In this case, it was baseball data, and we read the information from a CSV into a data structure in R called a data frame. So just to show you what that looked like. This is how R stores it, basically the same way as Excel does with all the columns and rows in the data. So today, what I want to show you is how to filter down the values so you can only see ones where you're interested in certain types of values, and also sometimes there are a lot of columns in the data that you don't care about, so I'll show you how to only view columns that you might care about. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in what's called a library in R. So if you used a programming language like Python, you may be aware of an import statement, or in the C languages, you may be aware of the pound include. So the library statement in R is basically like that. So we are going to want to bring in a library called dplyr, and it's a very common data manipulation library. In the R language, you can basically use SQL type operations, and I'll show you how that works right now. So we bring in this library, and let's create a new name for the data frame that we'll have that results from filtering everything down to the way we want. So let's talk about what exactly we want to do first. So as you can see in this data frame right now, we have a ton of different teams over here. We have the New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and more. But I'm not interested in all those teams. I live in, let's say, Philadelphia, so I only want to see the Philadelphia Phillies here. So I want to get rid of any row that doesn't have the team as Philadelphia Phillies. So let's do that here about how to only view that particular team. So let's give the new data frame a name first. Let's call it filtered underscore teams. And what we want to do is we want to take the old data frame and perform operations on it. So this percent greater than percent thing is kind of like a pipe in other programming languages. So it will take the original data frame and it will take its output and it will pipe it into an operation that I'll show you in a second. So data frame, that, and then we can do something called the filter function. So this is from the dplyr library. We can do filter. And then what we can do if we want to only look at the Philadelphia Phillies is we could say we want the team column to have a value in C, which represents a list, in the following list. So in this case, we'll only want one team. And this team, we want the Philadelphia Phillies. So this filter statement says we only want rows where the team is part of the list Philadelphia Phillies. So basically, the team is Philadelphia Phillies. And let's add another filter here too. Let's say we only want situations where the win percentage is pretty high. So we can do and win percentage is greater than 0.5. So now we can do is we created this, and let's view it after we filtered it. We can do the view function and view this new data frame. And now let's run everything. As you can see in this filtered information, all the teams here are Philadelphia Phillies, and also we did win percentage is greater than 0.5, so we can see that in the win percentage column, we see the values 0.6, 0.5, but clearly they're all greater than 0.5. So that is one way you could filter information. You could do this with any column type. You could say, oh, I want only the NL East League, or I only want a certain year. You could do filtering in all kinds of ways. Another thing I want to show you quickly is, as I alluded to before, there are tons of different columns here, but you may not care to look at all of these. I don't even know what pythag actually even means, for example, and there are tons. So I want to show you how you can make it so that you only view columns that you want to see in the data. And the way we could do that is through what's called a select statement, kind of like in SQL, but a little different. So we have this percent thing again. We could do select, and let's say we want to filter it down to only the year and the team, and we don't want to view anything else. So let's do that. Let's do year, comma, team. And then what we could do is we could rerun everything again, and we'll see those columns filtered down. And see, there's the year and the team. And yeah, so those are some cool functions with the dplyr library in R that you can filter columns and rows. That's what I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments or to message me. I'll see you next time.